There's some advice that is absolutely terrible. Follow your passion, they say, especially if you're young, especially if you're broke, and especially if you're trying to build a life where you actually have freedom. Because I'm a product of that, advice. I followed that advice and it cost me years. I loved music. That was my passion. Music was my passion. Rapping, singing, stuff like that. You see some of my gear here. Okay. That was my passion. So I spent years trying to figure out how to make my passion my career. And looking back, I realized I had the entire thing backwards, okay? I should have been building something that made money first, then using that money to fund my passion. Because here's what nobody tells you: your passion doesn't have to pay your bills. In fact, sometimes trying to make your passion pay your bills is the fastest way to kill the thing that you actually love. Think about it. When something you love becomes responsible for your rent, your car payment, your food, your family's expenses, now you don't have the freedom to do it. You have to do it. And there's a massive difference between I want to do it, I want to do this, and I have to do this. One is passion and the other is a freaking job, okay? And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. They think they have to find something they're passionate about and somehow turn that thing into money. But that's not necessarily how things work. Things don't work like that. A lot of these businesses that you see around, it's not passion. People are solving problems. They're not like passionate about some of these things, okay? They're solving problems. Elon Musk, you know what I'm saying? SpaceX, he's solving a problem. It might be like when he first started out, he didn't follow his passion. I feel like SpaceX is his passion. Okay, I want to go to Mars. It's like a dream of his when he was young. It was his passion, but he had to do those other things first for him to actually fund the thing that he actually really wanted to do. He had to do PayPal. He had to do, I think it was Zip something, the other business. He had to do all these other things for him to get there. Okay, Bill Gates, he had to, create Microsoft. He had to do all these things. And now he can go to Africa and help kids and whatever you think of the man, do whatever he's going to do and, buy land, whatever he's doing. A lot of people do the same thing. First, you build a business and then the business funds your passion. You want to travel the world. You can't just, oh, let me just up and leave and travel. You need money to do the things that you actually love. Money enables you to actually do the things that you love. And the things that you love don't feel like a job. That's passion. Okay? So that's what it is. Okay, sometimes you need to do something you're not passionate about because it creates the money, the skills, the connections, and freedom that eventually allow you to pursue what you are actually passionate about. Okay, I'll give you an example, right? I'm a wedding filmmaker part-time, okay? Like I used to do the full business and then COVID happened and now I'm trying to build back into doing the weddings, okay, into becoming an actual wedding filmmaker and stuff like that. I don't want to be a wedding filmmaker. Okay, this job where I came from over here, I don't want to be at that job. Okay, I don't want to do that job. And most of you don't want to do the jobs you're doing right now. Okay, you don't want to do the jobs right now. Like, I don't wake up, excuse me, I don't wake up every morning thinking, man, I can't wait to film another wedding today. But you know what? I'm grateful for, these weddings because they pay me, okay? They teach me, they give me skills, and most importantly, this wedding filmmaking thing is giving me money that can eventually buy me freedom. And that's the part I wish somebody had explained to me when I was younger. You don't always need to find your dream job. Sometimes you need to find your dream vehicle, something that can take you from where you are to where you actually want to be. And that's what I'm doing with this channel right now. Okay, this YouTube channel right now. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be a YouTuber for the rest of my life. I don't want to be here sitting down, I don't want to be, in front of the camera every day talking about money, discipline, procrastination, and passion. That's not the end goal. This is a vehicle for me, okay? If I build this channel into something valuable, it can eventually give me the money and the freedom to actually do the things that I actually, love. Music, building a music studio, real estate, because, I love housing, I love real estate and all that stuff that comes with, like, nice houses and stuff. I love real estate. Okay, I wouldn't mind doing real estate for the rest of my life. I love that. But I don't want to do these other things. These things are just vehicles for me to get to where I actually want to be. I want to be creating things. I want to be leaving. I want to be traveling the world. That's my goal. Okay, but right now, I can't do that. So YouTube is just a vehicle for me. My job is just a vehicle for me. These wedding films that I do, they're vehicles for me. Okay, and your job and whatever else you're doing, you might not love it, but it should just be a vehicle for you, a stepping stone to get to what you actually, want to do. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys in this video. And I think a lot of people confuse the vehicle with the destination. They say, what am I, passionate about? I think a better question is, what problem can I solve? What can I become extremely valuable at? What can I build that people are willing to pay me for? Because if you can solve somebody's problem, you can make money. All these things around us, they're just like problems. People are solving problems. This camera solves a problem. Okay, this drink right here, Mountain Dew, they solving problems. They solving my thirst problem. Purified water right here is solving my thirst problem. So somebody created these things, all these things, candles, all this, they're just solving problems. Somebody created that. They made money. Now they can do what they love to do, because now these things, these assets they created around them, now enable them to actually follow their passion. So that's, the question you should ask yourself, okay? That's the question you should be asking yourself. And if you can make money, you can buy back your time. When you start making money, you can buy back your time, and that time, can now enable you to follow what you actually want to do. That's freedom. And this is where I think I made one of my biggest mistakes when I was younger. I was so focused on what I wanted to do, okay, that I wasn't thinking enough about what other people wanted. I had built an audience with the music thing. I was on Twitter and stuff, right? People were like paying attention to my music, this and that, but I didn't know how to monetize it, because as a musician, you think so much of yourself. You don't think of like other people and stuff. That's another thing about, music and passion and all this stuff. Passion is about you, but you need to take the you out of it. First, you need to create for other people, and then now you can focus on what you actually want. You need to become a producer before you become a consumer. And that's a video for another day that I think I'm actually gonna, make. That's another video for another day. But I was thinking, what can I do for me? Instead of, I should have been thinking, what do these people need? What problem can I solve for other people? What can I build around that? I could have spent my 20s building businesses, building skills, building assets, building money, and then using those resources to fund my music. Instead, I kept trying to, follow my passion. I kept trying to make my passion pay for itself which is kind of, it's a wrong way to look at things. You know, this is like a backwards way of looking at things. Don't look at things this way, okay? So don't do that, guys. Don't do that. That's the mistake. You know, like, I'm not telling you to abandon your passion. I'm not telling you to abandon your passion. I'm telling you to stop putting the financial burden on your entire of your entire life on your passion. Your passion doesn't have to be your job, guys. It doesn't have to be your freaking job. You shouldn't look at it that way. Your job can be the thing that makes your passion possible. Okay, mind my English. I just came from work. I'm a little tired, but I gotta drop this video because I gotta make this shit work. Okay, I gotta hustle. I gotta make this shit work. Okay, so that way I can make my passion work. Okay, there's a completely different way of looking at, life. You gotta look at it that way. Create something, then go ahead and do your passion. Okay, you don't need to love the vehicle and your job. Things you don't love doing, that's a vehicle. Okay, you don't have to love your vehicle. You just need the vehicle to take you somewhere, and that somewhere is your passion, the stuff you want to do. So if you're young and you're broke and you're trying to figure out what you're supposed to do with your life, stop asking yourself, what am I passionate about? Ask yourself, what can I become valuable at? Okay, what can I learn? What problem can I solve for other people? What can I build? That's what you got to ask yourself, because maybe, your first business won't be your passion. Maybe your first job won't be your passion. Maybe the first thing you build won't be your passion. That's okay. Build it anyway. Make the money. Build the skills. Buy the assets. Buy back your time. Buy back your time with those vehicles, okay? And then go live your passion, because money isn't the destination. Money is the fuel. And if you use it correctly, it can buy you one thing that you are always trying to do. It can buy back the thing that you want to do, which is your freedom. And that freedom can enable you to now go ahead and do the things that you do, your passions. Do the things that you actually want to do, which are your passions, because your passion shouldn't be a job, shouldn't feel like a job. And that's not what it's supposed to be. So that's the video for today, guys. I just wanted to encourage you guys and tell you guys, if you're, if you're distracted, if you're stressed out, if you're sad that you're not doing what you actually love doing, that's okay. Stay in that vehicle, or create a vehicle, or just look at your job as a vehicle to get you to where you actually want to be. So if you look at it that way, you're going to understand, like, I just got to do this anyways. So that way I can actually do what I want to do. If it's travel the world, if it's make music, if it's play tennis, play golf, or go boxing, or whatever you guys like doing. Go to Africa, go help some kids out there, or go to Asia, go to third world countries, become Papa or Mama Teresa, whatever you're trying to do. But first, you have to make that money. And these jobs, these businesses are just vehicles for you to get to where you want to be. That's how you got to look at it. So people telling you follow your passion, I think is bad advice. You need to actually, get into these vehicles that will enable you to follow your passion. It's going to be less stressful on you. It's going to be much easier on you. If you like this type of content, please subscribe to your boy. Subscribe to my channel, and like this video. Drop me a comment if you want, and I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm wearing shades because the lighting in here is crazy.